No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to smack it raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Smackin' Raw podcast, episode 190. I am your host, the Warden, Matt Ritter, and I am here again with my co-hosts, Daddy Delgado himself. Vince, what's going on?
Daddy's home.
And the returning self-knighted Sir Cussalot, a.k.a. the Dragon King, a.k.a. Black Merlin, a.k.a. Sweet Tea, a.k.a. Big T, a.k.a. T-Money, a.k.a. the HNIC. I don't think I missed any of them. Sir Cussalot, Travis Pointer, what's going on?
What's happening?
It is good to be back.
It is. I'm not going to say I missed y'all because I really didn't, but it's good to be here.
Well, I mean, JJ hit us up on Facebook and said that you need to be on the shows because apparently they're better with you. So
I get it.
I mean, I see it. He's an
well,
OG.
No, you were not supposed to be on that side of the fence, Vince.
Okay.
We're supposed to be on the. We are just as good as me and Travis are. That's what we're supposed to.
I mean, we are, but I'm still under the impression I'm under my probational period until Travis says otherwise. So I'm trying to stay on that side. Look at Travis. Look at him.
Smart man.
So this is episode 190.
I haven't added you to the website yet.
Exactly. He just asked me for my pictures. I don't know if it was for the website or for personal use, but you know, he's.
It was for somebody else's personal use.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Yeah. I mean, they could always just reach in. My DMs are always open at SES Vince on Twitter.
They like that degree of separation. It makes them feel dirtier. That's what they into.
Okay. Nice.
Well, this is episode 190 of the Smackin' Raw podcast. If you're listening to this and being like, hey, I just listened to 189, it came out yesterday, you're not fucking crazy. We did 2 shows this week because there was way too much fucking wrestling to talk about for one show. Yes, Travis.
Just want to point out you might actually still be crazy. It's just this isn't the reason for it.
Well, yeah, that too. Though this show, we are going to cover Raw, SmackDown, and AEW from this week. If you want to hear our thoughts on, yes, we are. NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. You guys can go listen to episode 189. That is me, Vince, and Tyler from Black Label Pro covering NXT Stand and Deliver both nights. That is episode 189. This is everything else from this week. And our $20 contributee to our Patreon has requested that we also discuss a very special topic this week that I am absolutely 100% down with. So at the very end of the episode, we will be discussing why The Undertaker is the standard for WrestleMania.
Okay, that's one take.
Sure.
That's not one take. That is the take. That is the only take, and we will get into it, and I can't wait for it. So, as we always do, please go check out my pinned tweet at Matt Ritter. There's at MATTRIDDER. And there you guys can find the link to whatamaneuver.com to get yourselves those awesome Black Lives Matter shirts from our friends over at Young Kings Wrestling. And as I say every week, if you're new and you haven't heard, or you hear it every week and you just forgot, that money goes to a fund and is put in the hands of people that actually need it and are going to use it for good causes. It's not donated to the Black Lives Matter Foundation where they're making twerking videos and whatever else they're doing that doesn't necessarily help the movement. We want to support the people that have suffered from the injustices that we are trying to get corrected. And again, nothing has changed. Just because it's not talked about doesn't mean anything has gotten better. No laws have been put in place and nothing has changed. So we do ask that you guys please go donate to them and continue to donate to them, as well as the link that I tweeted out for the AAIP or AAPI Asian American and Pacific Islanders. There are the link that I tweeted out has a bunch of organizations there that you can choose from to help support the Stop the Asian Hate movement, which is something else that we ask if you can please support and help, because what's going on now in America that's at the forefront is just as terrible as what we started talking about a year or so ago with the Black Lives Matter movement. So there's just a lot of fucking awful, hateful people in the world, and we need to fix this shit.
Yeah, for sure, man. Couldn't have said it better myself, Matt.
And Travis and I love Asians a lot. So
do I. We had a whole conversation about Asian porn stars, and
yeah,
I
where
named some names.
You Googled random Asian porn stars and then listed them and pretended like
These are
Yeah.
these
I
are
remember that.
underground. Like, it's kind of like when you find like your favorite underground undiscovered rapper. That's kind of like what this is in porn. Like, you don't have like the mainstream porn stars. This is like the good stuff. This is kind of like the indie wrestling of porn stars. That's what I dive into.
If you say so.
Well,
Give me London Keys. I'm cool there. Like,
here's where we're at. Travis is back, which means that for our very special pre-WrestleMania episode, before her match on night 1 of WrestleMania, Sasha will be receiving a DM from Travis Pointer with a panda gif. And to get him in the mood, it is only right that in honor of a man who just recently passed away, I play both Travis and my favorite DMX song to get him in the mood to find that panda gif. Oh,
that ain't it. That's not it at all.
a panda rolling on his or laying on his back, rotating his paw, and that cute little puppy pose that you get when your dog wants his belly scratched.
Exactly.
I'm sure she's absolutely missed her panda gifts and wondered where they're at. I'm surprised we didn't hear about it on SmackDown in her promo.
Right? I mean, that's probably what she needs to get all the good luck for her match tomorrow. So,
in all sincerity, though, rest in peace, DMX.
Yeah, man.
I believe everyone here was a fan. Obviously, 50 years old is still very young to pass away. Loved his music, was influenced by his music. Sad to see him go. So,
Definitely.
Speaking of music, Shotzi Blackheart, Scarlett Bordeaux, and someone by the name of Harley Cameron that I'm not familiar with. Vince, do you know Harley Cameron?
No, but I know exactly where you're going with it, because I was hoping you bring this up because I watched the music video before we started recording. God damn, is that a great music video?
Oh, it is a fantastic music video. I'm probably going to watch it after we get off here with a bottle of lotion. It was beautiful. Scarlett Bordeaux, Shotzi Blackheart, and Harley Cameron released a song today. You can find that at Shotzi Blackheart or Scarlett Bordeaux's Twitter. There's a link to the YouTube and the Spotify to play the song Indestructible, which features all 3 women singing. I enjoyed the song. I loved the video. I recommend you go check it out. Whether it's your type of music or not, it's still worth something to go check out.
Yeah, if you don't like the vocals, just hit mute and enjoy the visuals.
And speaking of visuals, Becky Lynch went on Twitter to fuck with the IWC and or not Twitter, I'm sorry, it was Instagram, and released a little teaser, kind of like she did before the Royal Rumble, of her back, and then basically an acronym that spelled out night 1, leading a lot of people to believe that we may see Becky on night 1. There are rumors that Ding Dong Hello will make a WrestleMania appearance and that Becky will be the guest on Ding Dong Hello. So hopefully I didn't spoil that for anyone that didn't hear about it and was hoping to be surprised. I know my wife's super excited about it because she loves Becky Lynch. I'm interested to see if Becky does come back and what she has to say. it's not going to be WrestleMania without the man. So fuck it, why not?
Yeah, I'd be into it. I mean, more or less, like just for Bailey's sake, she's been carrying that women's division on SmackDown for the entire year, and for her not to have even a segment or anything on WrestleMania is kind of just disrespectful almost. It's like her and Asuka and Sasha were kind of like doing the most on SmackDown and Raw, and were the most entertaining things. So like to be champion for that long and not be on WrestleMania on either night is just a shame. So I hope this is something she gets.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about something when we get into SmackDown, because there was a rumor that I think we talked about on one of our episodes that I heard that maybe played into, maybe it was something I discussed with Reek. I don't remember. But last but not least in news and rumors, Dark Side of the Ring returns on May 6th. In that lineup, you have things like Dynamite Kid, which will be very interesting. Collision in Korea. There's a lot of things coming up in this Dark Side of the Ring that I'm looking forward to go checking out. So if you are a fan of the Dark Side of the Ring series, that is more wrestling content to look forward to, because it's not like we have enough yet.
Yeah, for sure. I think I've only seen like
there's so much that we can actually like just completely forgo talking about a certain show this week. I wouldn't be upset about it.
So you want to start with
right with you?
Is that what you're saying?
Want to do what?
You want to start with AEW?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, all right. We'll start with AEW. So if I don't know if you actually listened to the shows as you were editing them, Travis, but we have a new format.
No, I don't like listening to you guys talk. So absolutely.
I cannot believe you don't like listening to me talk. I have a feeling that you put me on when you go to bed because you miss me so much and you need to hear those nice dulcet tones to put you to sleep.
You keep telling yourself that, Matt.
So what we're doing is I'm going to run down the entire AEW card real quick, and then I'm going to ask you what you swallowed from the show. You'll tell me what you liked, and then we'll talk about what you didn't like, and anything that you either did like or didn't like. If it falls in the middle, you didn't care, we're not going to talk about it. So we're only going to talk about the shit that we care about.
Okay.
One way or the other.
Good to know.
All right, Vince. So it looks like you and I are just covering AEW. Kick it off with the Inner Circle arriving in style. Hangman Page defeats Max Caster. The Best Friends confront the Death Triangle. The Inner Circle promo on the Pinnacle, and a babyface turn for the Inner Circle. A Christian Cage interview where he's invited to join Team Taz. Jurassic Express had a match where they defeated Bear Country. A little Luchasaurus on AEW this week. QT Marshall has a promo segment. Sting has an interview that's interrupted by Jake and Lance Archer. And there's a challenge laid down but not accepted. Darby Allin defeats JD Drake. And then the Pinnacle jumps Jericho. The Inner Circle comes and breaks down their dressing room door to make the save, but Mike Tyson gets out there first. And then there's an embrace at the end of Mike Tyson and Jericho. So he is now kind of a pseudo member of both the Inner Circle and D-Generation X. We got a great promo from Britt Baker again. Ty Conti gets another win over the Bunny. And in the main event, the Young Bucks turn on Jon Moxley in their match against the Bullet Club, Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers.
Pretends to be shocked.
You done?
No, I just got done running down the show. Were you swallowing anything from this episode, Vince? Because I had a few things.
Not really. Like, it was just kind of there. Like, it was all right. Like, nothing really, like, just was bad enough for me to, like, spit or, like, good enough for me to want to swallow. Like, even, like, honestly, like, I checked out for the 6-man tag. I kind of even tweeted about it. It's like another 6-man tag. Whenever I see a 6-man tag in general, if it's on WWE or AEW, I just kind of, like, tune out. Like, I like the post-match stuff with, like, the Bucks and stuff. But like I said, pretends to be shocked. I kind of saw it coming.
All right. Well, for Travis, Jurassic Express got that win.
Oh, they won something?
Yes, they beat Bear Country in what was promoted as a Godzilla versus King Kong-esque match, but it's fucking Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy versus two guys named Bear Country. And let me say, bears and gorillas, completely different.
They're completely different animals. It's so different. They're not even close.
Here's what I'm swallowing. I'm swallowing all the Inner Circle stuff. Jericho cut a fantastic babyface promo, turned the Inner Circle heel. I absolutely loved what he had to say, and the way he ran down MJF.
I thought they were already two heels.
I'm sorry, babyface. Turned him babyface.
Oh, I'm like, wait, what? Okay.
See, I didn't want to call him out because I knew what he meant.
No, you call me
See,
out. If I say dumb shit, call me out.
I wasn't watching AEW because I thought maybe they were already baby faces for a while and I just didn't know.
Yeah,
like so they were baby face and then turned back heel. Is that what happened?
So
no, he just turned them baby face. I got you.
After MJF formed his new group and jumped them.
Right. I knew that happened.
And he laid down the challenge for the Blood and Guts match. And Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle, Blood and Guts. I'm all for that. That's basically War Games. So give me those two factions in War Games.
What about Pinnacle?
Exactly. Also, I can't believe I'm saying this, but fucking QT Marshall won me over with his promo from the Nightmare Factory, where he basically called out Cody Rhodes for being a failure. Yeah, dude. He talked about how Cody Rhodes had to put on makeup to be Stardust because he couldn't get over, how he was second fiddle to fucking Ted DiBiase Jr. That really he's just been riding people's coattails the whole time. Like he went in on Cody, and I was like, all right, QT, I don't know where the fuck this came from, but you put down the apple and you actually said some shit. I'm on board. And the fact that they got me on board with QT Marshall is a huge deal because I have hated this guy from the second I saw him on my TV.
But then if I'm Cody, I still look at him after all that and be like, okay, now who the fuck are you?
And that's what they're probably going to do, and it's going to be fantastic. So I'm all for that. I also obviously want to swallow Ty Conti defeating the Bunny because I got the Bunny in a match and Ty Conti, and anytime I get that, I love it. The only thing
the Bunny was actually in the ring.
Yeah, the Bunny has been wrestling.
Oh, you've been mixing it up. All right, Tim.
Also swallowing the Britt Baker promo where she says she's going to go get her wins up. She's going to work every show, get the title shot because she's the face of the company. She has been killing it in promos. Only thing I'm spitting is Jake the Snake Roberts. Like, again, everything else didn't really kind of care about it, but Jake the Snake Roberts promos have been really, really, really fucking bad. And thank God Lance Archer's coming in and like just taking the mic away from him and cutting him off, because his interactions with Sting and the shit he's been doing it's almost ruining Jake the Snake Roberts, who at one time was considered one of the greatest promos in wrestling. Yeah. And AEW is doing a lot to fuck that up.
Yep.
Like you said, six-man tag main event. The Bucks turned, not really a big surprise. Moxley got beat up. They officially joined, I guess, back with Kenny Omega to reform the Elite / Bullet Club. We'll see what happens. I've lost some investment in that. And Hangman got a win, so that's a plus. I'm gonna gargle undecidedly on AEW. It wasn't a great show, but it wasn't a bad show.
Yeah,
so I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it.
Same. Like I said, I can't really like spit it if I didn't hate it. It just was kind of there.
Especially anyone listening who is a big AEW fan is like, oh, this is first off, if you're a big AEW fan and you're listening to this podcast, you probably say, oh, this is bullshit every week. But you've also got to remember, I watched NXT Stand and Deliver and then went and watched AEW. So AEW had to live up to what I saw from basically TakeOver, and that's hard to do.
Yeah, definitely. In the way you watched it, didn't you watch it like night 1 AEW and night 2? So it was like sandwiched in between. So
correct.
Yeah.
Oh, poor AEW.
Yeah,
they struggle anyway.
They were not the comfortable part of that threesome sandwiched in between both nights of NXT. So Travis, where would you like to go? Raw, SmackDown, or Raw or SmackDown? Because we're not doing NXT.
Let's start with SmackDown because I just want to know what that was.
Okay. So we kick it off with the Daniel Bryan promo. We also
no. We need to talk about what this was.
Okay, like, but yes, we have a new format, Travis.
I have a question though.
Okay, what's your question?
What is WrestleMania SmackDown?
Okay. WrestleMania SmackDown is basically another convoluted bullshit ass fucking gimmick from WWE to get Raw and SmackDown on the same show and piss me the fuck off because they're trying to eliminate matches from the WrestleMania pre-show is what I heard.
I love that battle royal so much because I knew how much it pissed you off.
At this point, no, here's the thing. After everything they've done for the last 3 weeks, at this point, I'm so drained. I just don't even care anymore, to be honest with you. Like I saw the shit. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care who wins. I don't care that you're doing it. It's just fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. Right? The women's tag teams still on SmackDown for 3 weeks. Fucking, they were on Raw. Fuck you, Matt. Now this battle royal bullshit. Fuck you, Matt. Like, I'm so drained. I don't care.
But did
So,
they at least have consent to fuck you, man?
But like,
No, they
what
did not.
was really the whole concept of this WrestleMania SmackDown was just they're supposed to have more WrestleMania happening during SmackDown. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. So they wouldn't have matches during the kickoff show. Basically.
yeah, no, they just the shit that
So there's
they
no
wanna put
kickoff
on the
show.
These were going to be kickoff show matches.
So there is no kickoff show.
There's going to be a kickoff
There-
show, just no matches.
So what time does the kickoff show start?
I'm guessing 5.
I don't know, but I know both cards start at 7 p.m. 8 Eastern. So they're all gonna start at like 7. So it's gonna be
If
like
they all start at 7, then kickoff show will be at 6.
But if there's no matches, there's no need to watch the kickoff.
That's not necessary. Well, they're okay. That is fair, but he wanted to know what time.
I'm
so he
asking you
didn't
what
tune in
time they
early.
started though, so I'm just wondering like what time I actually have to start. Kind of paying attention.
Well, from
if
what I
I've
heard
missed-
with Peacock, you might want to just put it on in the background and have it on, so that way you can make sure you get in. Because I know people had problems with Fastlane where they went to go get in the show a little late, and then they were told they couldn't access it until the show was over.
What happened with me is that I couldn't go back, so I just jumped into whatever was live. So I missed everything, and I couldn't go back and watch until afterwards.
Trash.
So, all right, so we kicked off SmackDown with the Daniel Bryan
One more
promo.
thing though, before I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
Don't forget, Travis.
Oh, you missed me. You did.
We kicked it off with the Daniel Bryan promo. Rudolph defeated the Mysterios, the Street Profits, and Alpha Academy. We had a Bianca interview and a Sasha interview. We got Biggie promo.
I love it here.
Nia versus Tamina ends in a DQ. The Riot Squad interview with all of the tag teams from Raw and SmackDown brawling on the women's side. We have an awesome Cesaro and Seth smear campaign commercial that I can't wait to talk about. Edge's heel promo. We got dissension grows between Sonya and Adam Pearce, where they disagree on parts of the WrestleMania card.
I don't want to hear you either.
And tonight, then we have Sammy and Paul. Sammy's little fucking promo with the Logan and Jake Paul at their gym, which is the lead into the Battle Royal where KO jumps Sammy. And then we get the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and we close it out with the Roman promo. Vince, what are you swallowing from SmackDown?
I want to say probably just like the Battle Royal, to be honest, because
You're swallowing the one thing that absolutely infuriated me.
I want to follow that because honestly, everything else just kind of felt kind of very promo heavy. And I'm not big on shows that are very promo heavy. The only other match that I think that I can recall was the Fatal 4-Way Tag match, and they did it the way that pisses me off. Like, I kind of wish they did it what NXT did, where like it's a triple threat tag match. A competitor from each team is in the match.
ring. Yeah.
But no, like SmackDown decided to do the fucking dumb way to do it.
Yeah.
Where like
They shouldn't be having the match anyway, because you know how I feel about these multi-team matches anyway.
So that's a spit. So all you're swallowing is the Battle Royal.
Everything I'm just like I think the one thing I'm spitting is
No, we're not there yet, Vince. We've been doing this for 3 weeks now. What are you swallowing?
He only wants to know about what you're swallowing.
Yes.
just the Battle Royal, I guess.
I'm new here with this shit, and I know that.
Then I will come back to you and ask you what you were spitting.
Why do you suck?
I don't. I spit or I swallow, so like there's no in between.
I mean, but you have to suck in order to do those things, though.
Not necessarily.
Oh, so you half-ass it. I got it. That makes perfect sense. Now I understand.
Travis, what are you swallowing from SmackDown?
Oh, I'm swallowing all of that Edge promo. Like, every last bit of it. Fuck Daniel Bryan being in this match. Like, the whole time, I'm like, yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
I love the memes that have come out of this. Like, so many things like X versus Y and Daniel Bryan. Like the one that I just saw before getting on here was on this Facebook group that I'm in. It was SmackDown versus Raw versus Daniel Bryan. It was the cover of the original SmackDown versus Raw game, and I thought that shit was fucking hilarious.
That's great. That's
You
great.
know, Edge sat in the middle of the ring with the lights dimmed down in the dark and cut a fantastic heel promo. As Travis said, fuck Daniel Bryan being in this match. I said it last week. I agree with everything that Edge says.
Yes.
Also,
he is
the
spitting
fact
facts.
that he called out Roman Reigns and said, "Oh, you debuted with a trio and you came in from the crowd and your finisher's a spear. You're Samoan Edge. I gave you your gimmick."
Yes.
Fucking
Yes.
loved it.
Oh, it was so good. Oh, that was so good. The whole thing. It's just like, and also it's just kind of like, technically, Edge, you didn't debut with a trio, but we'll look past that because it worked for the purposes of this promo.
Yeah.
This is fine. But it's just like, oh, I was feeling every bit of this. All of it. All of it.
Edge wants respect in the end, and he feels like he's earned it. He fought his way back, and he feels like
Yeah.
he's disrespected. And again,
100%. He won the Rumble.
agree with him 100%.
Daniel Bryan had his shot. He lost.
Real quick, Vince wanted to swallow that dumbass Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal that Jey Uso won. Raw people were on SmackDown. They shouldn't have been there. They should not be doing this. I am against it 100%. I also hate the fact that even though they canceled Retribution, Dominic Dijakovic and Dio Madden are still wearing the fucking masks and calling themselves by stupid fucking names. And I pray to God, the Raw after WrestleMania, that shit is corrected and there is no more T-Bar and no more Mace.
I think it's gonna take a minute, but hopefully it does get corrective. I want Dominic Dijakovic back. Dio Madden, take him or leave him.
It really doesn't need to take a minute. You can leave those guys as a tag team because they need tag teams. You just have them cut a promo where they take off the masks and say, Retribution was stupid. This mask is stupid. These names are stupid. This is who we are, and we're here to kick ass. And that's
where's
that
Mia
just
Yim?
makes too much sense. Mia Yim hasn't been doing anything.
She's at home with Keith Lee, keeping him company while they keep him off TV because they're racist fucks. Because they don't want a black man to succeed.
As you guys can see in the background, I've been watching NXT Takeover matches, and I watched the Chicago War Games one where Keith Lee was in there, and I really missed Keith Lee.
All right, Vince, we're gonna have class here real quick. You are allowed to leave that on in the background. You are not supposed to draw attention.
You don't bring attention to it, like we knew you were doing it. We weren't gonna even talk about the fact that you were doing it. You don't just put up a big bright neon sign and say, "Hey, YouTube, I have copywritten content behind me right now."
At least it's content that's on their YouTube. So like,
yeah.
That's kind of like the time when I got 24-hour ban on Facebook for sharing something that was on Facebook. But
I'm gonna swallow that Seth fucking smear campaign on Cesaro.
That was great.
It was fantastic. Like the whole why Cesaro's not a role model thing, and then this was paid for by Seth's friends in no way related to Seth. Like the whole thing was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I was dying laughing the whole time. Fucking fantastic. I'm also swallowing Big E's vignette where he's at the barber shop and he's talking about how he is Tampa, everything Tampa. You see the arena in the background and how this is the end of Apollo Crews and his aspirations to be Intercontinental Champion. So I love that as well. Vince, what would you like to spit from this show? If you do this again for Raw, I will kick you out and send you to the waiting room.
I probably will.
Promise?
Just to see if you would.
Ooh, do it. I mean, I think you should do it now, just because he's threatening you. Like he needs to respect your authority. Well, he is trying you right now, Matt. Are you gonna let him do that, Vince?
What are you spitting?
That tag match, man. That Fatal 4-Way tag match wasn't it. I just wasn't feeling it. I thought the women's shenanigans bullshit.
You could have muted him in the middle of this too, just to fuck with him. You didn't even do that.
Oh yeah.
That's because I am in control and I will handle things my way.
All right.
I agree. I'm spitting that as well. Again, the Mysterios only value at this point is raise a backpack. They don't call themselves Rudolph, which is disappointing. Street Profits should have won and they didn't. And Alpha Academy is still a fucking thing and I don't know why. This was supposed to be a WrestleMania match and thank God it wasn't. They put it on SmackDown because even as a kickoff show match, this wouldn't have done shit for me.
Also, how can it be an academy if there's only one pupil? Like
that's the kind of shit Chad Gable would come up with. The same person who called himself Shorty G would call his whole thing with one student an academy.
Travis makes good points.
Yeah.
I don't know the definition of academy or what the minimum amount of people is to be considered an academy. So,
well, you and I attended an academy at one point.
Yeah, but I don't know what the minimum amount of people that had to be there for it to be an academy.
You just got to we probably look up like, you know, how many students they had when they were founded, and we could, I don't know, maybe that'll give us an idea.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not going to do that because I don't care that much, but you know.
What I do want to talk to you guys about, because Travis, are you spitting anything from the show?
Oh, I'm spitting everything Daniel Bryan said and the fact that he even exists right now.
So you're spitting Daniel Bryan's whole opening promo.
Yep.
His whole existence, apparently.
His existence right now irritates me. And you know, the thing is, I never disliked Daniel Bryan, but I don't like the fact that they put him in this match so much that I would rather him not exist on my television.
Along those lines, I'm going to spit Roman's promo, not because the promo was bad, because actually Roman Reigns, apparently with the time off that he took, learned how to cut promos, but the fact that this is how he ended the show and nothing fucking happened.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns come out and cut a slow, somber promo, and this is the last thing we see going into WrestleMania.
Poor choice.
That's something that wasn't on the show that I want to spit, because it wasn't. The last few times they've interacted, we've had brawls, we've had interactions, fights. This is the go-home show for WrestleMania. This is the last stop before WrestleMania, and that you have your main event of night 2. The 3 guys not even interact with each other. Like, what kind of shit is that? That is just, it makes no sense.
I'm also spitting the Riot Squad interview because Raw Tag Team showed up and started a brawl there. But they did mention that Billie Kay and Carmella are a tag team and officially entered in this. And the rumor that I heard, I believe it was from Reek, but I could be wrong, is that Carmella said she wanted to start a female version of the New Day, or kind of like the New Day, with Bayley, Carmella, and Billie Kay. We now have 2/3 of those players.
Matt. Give me credit.
You, Reek, whoever.
Oh, we're all just the same to you, huh?
Yes, you and Reek are the same person to me right now.
Understandable.
Jesus.
No, Vince mentioned it, but yeah, no. If that's the case, we have 2/3 of those. 2/3 of the fucking pieces of the puzzle put together. So
I did see more of the older Carmella than this newer Carmella that they brought us before, so that was fun to see.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the older Carmella, but she also still had the champagne flute, so it was,
And then you had Billie Kay just like trying to buddy up to her, and everything Billie Kay does is fantastic. She almost saved that segment, but then Mandy Rose showed up with Dana Brooke, and yeah, that shit happened. So Lana and Naomi on the show they're not supposed to be on, pissing me the fuck off. Speaking of interviews,
turmoil, Matt.
Let me ask you guys a question. How did you feel about the Bianca Belair we got in her interview? Is this the Bianca Belair that we've been looking for? And is it the Bianca Belair that she should have been this entire time? Or did you still feel she was still a little too nice?
Still too nice for me.
Still too nice?
Yeah.
What about the Sasha that we got?
Sasha felt like Sasha, but Bianca felt too nice. That's how I felt.
Yeah. I think they just dragged this shit on too long. Like, they should have brought this intensity from Sasha from the jump, and it would have maybe brought more intensity from Bianca, and she wouldn't have been so nice.
They definitely completely botched this entire build going into WrestleMania. If we had gotten this Sasha from the get-go, and we had gotten the Bianca that we had, that we knew, that we fell in love with prior to a Royal Rumble win, this would have been a much more entertaining feud. The promos and the back and forth would have been great, and that's really all you need, plus the Rumble win to build this. You didn't need the side fella Reggie extra bullshit.
Yeah, definitely. But according to Stephanie McMahon, unless she's completely off, this is going to be the main event of night 1.
I've seen that.
I don't know how Stephanie McMahon would be completely off. I feel like if anyone knows, it's Steph.
Because on Raw, they said that the main event was going to be Bobby Lashley.
I don't care what Raw. Oh yeah, Raw said that their champions are going to main event, but they're not fucking the owner's daughter. Well, Triple H is fucking the owner's daughter.
I'm about to say, yes, they are.
Raw isn't
is.
fucking the owner's daughter. But yeah, no, they're not Stephanie. I'm taking
And he's
Stephanie's
fucking
word.
her Raw too.
Yeah. I'm taking Stephanie's word over a possible announcer fuck up. And also, Vince likes to call things main event that aren't actually main event. Like he'll say, as we'll talk about, facing the Undertaker is a main event, even though it doesn't close the show.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have multiple main events in one night, but there's only one show closer. And if she said Bianca and Sasha are closing the show, then that's what I'm gonna go with. Overall,
like the fact that Hogan Rock match didn't close the show for some reason, which
they should have.
Which is so funny because in my brain before I heard somebody say that, I always remembered them closing the show. So it's just like, did I turn off WrestleMania after that match thinking they closed the show? Because I don't remember a match happening after that at all.
Now, I will disagree with you there. I feel like the Royal Rumble winners should always close the show, regardless of what matches you have put on.
Yeah. I understand why people would think that. It's just in my head when you have The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, you close the show with that match.
No, SmackDown, spit or swallow.
I'm gonna spit it. I don't think I needed to watch SmackDown this week.
Was Edge enough to make me swallow this show? Not quite. I'm a gargle.
And Edge and Seth Rollins were not enough to overcome my absolute hate for the fact that Raw superstars were on the show off brand, you cocksucking pieces of shit. So I'm spitting. I'm spitting, you cocksuckers.
That was aggressive.
Yeah. Monday Night Raw.
This was also very aggressive.
We kicked it off with Drew Lashley and Corbin all in the ring. Yes, I said Corbin. We'll get into that.
I really don't even know it all. I don't even know what that meant. I just said it.
Yeah. They're arguing about WrestleMania. The New Day and Riddle talk about power levels and make weed jokes. Then Woods defeats AJ. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest show up.
I
in
didn't
a Bugatti.
see the New Day stuff. That's sad.
Well, I'll mark that as not good enough for Hulu. We got Braun Strowman raging in a cage. Then a handicap match that Strowman ends up winning. Miz and Morrison paint the Bugatti. Rhea and Asuka lose to Shania after Rhea screws over Asuka. Cedric puts hands on MVP backstage. Shania interview leads to more tag team bullshit with women from SmackDown now on Raw, because it wasn't enough that we put Raw women's tag teams on SmackDown. We had to put SmackDown women's tag teams on Raw. Bobby defeats Cedric. Damian Priest and Bad Bunny make it a tag match at WrestleMania against The Miz and Morrison. Sheamus tries to reason with Ali before his match, where Ali loses to Riddle. And Drew defeats Corbin in the main event because, again, Baron Corbin was on fucking Raw and then competed on SmackDown in the bullshit ass Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which is a show he's supposed to be on. I can't wait I just can't wait till WrestleMania is over in hopes that the shit stops, because if Monday comes and I see a fucking SmackDown superstar on Raw that's not drafted, we might not be doing a show next week. I might just stop. Like, we might just do NXT and AEW and fuck them. Yes, Travis.
Did it stop after WrestleMania last year?
I mean, on a regular basis, yes. They did that stupid fucking brand to brand invitational shit, or once in a quarter dumbass shit, but at least they weren't just showing up without any fucking reason or any explanation. Just
they were at first. Show. They were at first. Oh man!
If someone from SmackDown shows up on Raw next week, we are not. If someone shows up off brand next week on either Raw or SmackDown, we are not covering those shows next week, Vince. So if you see that, you can just stop taking notes.
Okay, well, what if it's a permanent move? What if they actually explain?
If it's a trade, and there's a trade from
or a
one
call up,
and there's an actual trade, and they don't say 4 future draft picks, then yes. If they say 4 future draft picks, we're not covering it because it's fucking bullshit.
You don't know that. You don't.
I do, because they didn't use the goddamn future draft picks.
You don't know when those draft picks were for. They could be for later on. People do future draft picks for years in advance all the time.
Yeah, Yeah, no, but that James Harden trade it doesn't look good right now for all those future picks. So like I see what
Well, I
Matt's
mean, it was
talking
either that or have James Harden phone it in for you for the rest of the year, where he might as well just not go to practice and like they move a Burger King into the fucking arena.
Yeah, but you could have had Ben Simmons, but you chose future draft picks.
Travis, what are you swallowing from Raw?
I'm swallowing the fact that you're so upset about this.
Like, I was so thankful for NXT, and even like the little bit that I got on AEW, even though comparatively it was depressing, because Raw and SmackDown just fucking sucked this week.
I'm gonna say honestly, there's really not much from Raw that actually made me happy because I didn't get the New Day stuff, so I didn't see that. That probably would have made me happy, but yeah, nothing else really. I'm trying to think of something that I was like, oh, this was dope. Nah, not really.
Vince, what are you swallowing from Raw?
Swallowing. I don't know if there's anything swallow worthy on Raw that happened this week, to be honest. Like
Not even the stuff with Bad Bunny for you?
Oh, you know what? I want to swallow the fact that they fixed the issue and made this into a fucking tag match, because the last week I was bitching about like, look, I'm glad that Bad Bunny has his match against The Miz. It makes fucking sense. But I always thought should have been a tag match, because what's the point of having Damian Priest be his muscle, basically, if he's not going to be at WrestleMania? They righted that wrong. Now it's a tag match.
Maybe he was just going to be in his corner, you know?
Yeah, but that's still not.
I don't want to see the wrestler in the corner of the celebrity talent. I want to see.
Yeah. I want to see him actually be in the match. But I will say this: I saw this of all places.
Do you really want to see Damian Priest in the match, though?
Yes, I like Damian.
As long as he's not shooting fake arrows, absolutely, Travis.
I mean, he's gonna shoot fake arrows.
Yeah,
though,
I know he is.
That's gonna happen.
He is.
But
I'm looking. It's going to be big, and it's going to be with drones, and it's going to piss me the fuck off. Like, they're going to be drone arrows just flying through the sky, and
oh joy!
They're going to be bunny arrows. That's what he's going
with bunnies on them. Bunny drones.
Bunny drones.
So you're swallowing. They made it a tag team match. So basically, what happened here was they showed up in a Bugatti together. Miz and Morrison decided that they were going to paint the Bugatti, give it a custom paint job, which then Bad Bunny got.
Is such an expensive thing to do for just one segment on Raw.
Unless it's like water washable paint, or they had a wrap on it that they could peel off.
I don't give a fuck. That's still a Bugatti. You don't do that.
And I'm assuming it was some kind of paint that they could wash off, because they did it on the fucking window too. So like,
still, I'm kind of with Travis here. You don't do that.
Bad Bunny's all pissed off. He gets attacked by Miz and Morrison. For some reason, though, Damian Priest, who showed up with him and hung out with him all night, did not escort him back to his car to have his back when he went to go look at the damage done.
He was sitting in his jacuzzi. He was preoccupied at that.
Damian Priest is a shitty friend. He's just a clout chaser. That's why he was hanging out with Bad Bunny.
And then
he don't really give a fuck about Bad Bunny.
Then clearly felt bad that he let him get beat up and put himself in this match and made it a tag team match.
He realized that since he had been on Raw, or since he got his call up, that he really wasn't doing shit. So he had to associate himself with somebody who would matter. And, now he doesn't really care about him.
They let Bad Bunny cut a promo. How did you feel about Bad Bunny's promo on Raw?
I'll go first, Travis, just because it's gonna be quick. I'm gonna go ahead and play devil's advocate. Like, the English stuff was not good. It didn't really translate, but once he started speaking in Spanish and he was actually comfortable, the promo was solid.
See, a lot of people say. Yeah, what did he say in Spanish?
I don't remember, but it sounded.
Well, if you don't remember what he said, then there were no lines in there that were worth remembering, which means it might not have been a great promo.
It wasn't the memorable.
Hey, Travis. In Chicago. The Rock. What did he say to Booker T?
Who in the blue hell are you? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Because that's my favorite thing The Rock ever said to Booker T.
During the invasion angle.
That's exactly what he said.
This was during the invasion angle.
Yes, but what is the famous rhyme that he said to Booker T when him and Jericho were going back and forth in Chicago?
Booker T and Shane, superstar sucking the silver spoon, motherfucker.
See, memorable lines delivered all these years later that Travis can quote memorable promos.
That's
I can basically quote that
you
whole
can't
quote
really you can't really
about-
compare anybody to The Rock's promos though, man. That's unfair.
That's not cool.
That's unfair.
100% can, and doing it right now.
Now, keep in mind, a large segment of the audience had no idea what Bad Bunny said, so there's that too.
I don't think the promo was bad. I just think they let him go too long. I think he ran.
That was my problem too. It lasted too long.
Yeah. Was that what you were raising your hand about? Was to say it went too long?
I was gonna say it went too long, and I was gonna also ask what he said.
Okay, so we got those out of the way. Travis, you said you're not really swallowing anything, right?
Yeah.
Vince, you just want to swallow that one segment?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, since you didn't fuck this up, Vince, what are you spitting for Monday Night Raw?
I'm spitting the fact that they ruined the Hurt Business and they ruined the build of Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. I was so invested in this fucking match after Bobby Lashley won the title. He seemed like a dominant force champion. Like, why can't you just have two badasses go into the ring and see who's the better man? Like, even if he's a heel, he's a monster heel like a Brock Lesnar. Why is he going to
like who? Like who? Like who?
Brock Lesnar.
Oh man, it's almost like that would have been a better match. Anyway, go ahead.
It totally would have. I'm so upset about it. I don't like how they just fucking tossed her business to the side and then fucking what's his name? Like Bobby Lashley going to the 24/7 locker room to try to take out Drew McIntyre. I thought it was just fucking stupid. It seemed like they didn't know which direction they want to go with Bobby Lashley's heel character, and it completely took the wind out of the sails of this match. I will say Sheamus has been solid. I'm really looking forward to his match against the other Matt. And yeah. I mean, more or less.
We're gonna call him Voldemort.
Voldemort.
Yeah.
wait. Tom Riddle.
It's Tom Marvolo Riddle, which is
no, but it's Matt Riddle.
Yeah, but it's
Tom Riddle.
Voldemort. Like the whole thing is an acronym for Tom Marvolo.
Whatever. Mine was more clever, Matt. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Good job.
I mean,
and I was actually
I was just curious as to how that was going to work.
I was actually about to be right on board with him too, because I'm like, because I wasn't here last week, I want to retroactively spit. I mean, them breaking up the Hurt Business, because what the fuck? Why would you do that? Like, I saw at least being completely pessimistic, them going to SummerSlam at least, like in the. Even best case scenario, I saw them lasting at least another year. Worst case, I thought SummerSlam. Oh, Vince is back. Hi.
I let him back because this is going to fuck up your cropping for YouTube, so I don't want to leave him out too long.
I mean, either way, I'm going to have to go back and forth one time. So it didn't matter how long you left him out.
I was going to say, you might have to go back because when I did it, it changed my view to speaker view. So you were huge and I was tiny. Then I had to go to gallery and then add Vince. So I
don't think that matters.
We'll see. But you were saying, yeah, I also spit all this Hurt Business shit. I don't know why they broke up the Hurt Business. I don't know why they've got Shelton and Cedric fighting Bobby Lashley and fighting MVP. This was a beautiful thing. And apparently there were too many black men being too successful at one time. And Vince is like, I can't have that shit. Let's kick out those two guys. I don't know. What's that one guy who's been here forever?
The one guy that had all that talent that I just never gave a manager to. It's crazy. You give him a decent person to talk for him, and look what happens. Anyway.
I'm spitting the main event, Drew versus Corbin, because Corbin should not have fucking been here.
I forgot that main event happened.
And it wasn't great. But I will say, I think I'm going to swallow the Rhea and Asuka versus Shayna and Nia match just because I'm really happy that Rhea screwed over Asuka and did something to kind of build what was kind of damaged from her bad promo when she first showed up. At least we're getting a heel Rhea. Vince knows what I thought of Rhea Ripley.
Her whole makeup.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So A lot of people ask me, like, when wrestlers come out, hey, you know, is their gear inspired by this horror movie? Or like Rhea, it's always like, do you think it's Saw because she's got that little swirl on her pants and shit? Her makeup reminded me of Art the Clown from Terrifier. So I posted some pictures of Rhea next to Art the Clown in our Dragon Ball group chat. And yeah.
Speaking of
proceeded
Dragon Ball,
to
y'all
no
weren't even
solid.
paying attention to the Slack because while y'all were talking AEW, I just posted a picture in the Slack because that's how little I was paying attention. But and it was Dragon Ball Z related, but it doesn't matter. It's not new. It's just, you know, I came across it again. I'm like, I remember this. Yeah.
You know what I really wanted to find for today?
What'd you want to find?
Remember when we used to watch those Dragon Ball anime music videos?
Oh, I love those.
You remember the fucking Janemba one that had Party or Up in Here to DMX?
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to find that and listen to that today, or even if I could find it, post it. But I have not been able to find any of those Dragon Ball AMVs from when we were kids.
Yeah,
They're just like
the Limp Bizkit rolling when all Urban Assault Vehicle was still my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
X was in that one too. So yeah,
Yep.
Man, those were the days, man.
They were.
Remember we used to just sit around and had to wait for those to download,
Yeah,
so we could watch them. Man,
hours.
I waited hours for a 4-minute video to download so we could watch it over and over again.
Yeah, there was no streaming it. That wasn't a thing.
No, you had to illegally download this shit.
And pray to God that your dad didn't pick up the phone if your dial-up wasn't separate.
Ooh, yeah. The days.
They don't know what the struggle was back then, Travis. They have no idea.
Know.
Yeah.
All that time waiting for one picture to upload, you know, just to show up on a website. And it was just like one of the Nitro girls in lingerie, but it took forever for it to show up.
And you got all excited because like it was the head, and then it would get lower and lower. You're like, all right, here it comes. And then it's like, and she's in a bra. But hey, boobs.
Exactly, because I'm 12, so I'm happy.
I'm also spitting Braun Strowman raging in the cage because this whole fucking thing has been terrible. Braun being in the cage.
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
I don't know.
You're stupid. And I can crush you. So what? Like, I don't understand.
I also don't understand why fucking Elias and his sidekick are involved in this shit. Like,
yeah, every time, like, because, you know, I go back, like, because I'm not doing this show every week. I don't watch Raw and SmackDown and NXT every week, you know. So sometimes I miss it. And so, like, I'll be gone a week and I'll come back and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And that's literally what I've been saying every time I see something with this Shane and Braun Strowman shit. Like, what the fuck is this?
It's just Shane needs his own lackeys. So there was like, who are the two heels? Like, who are some heels that aren't doing shit?
But why is this even happening?
Because for some reason, Vince McMahon feels like he needs to have his son in the WrestleMania match every fucking year.
Yeah, Shane has to have a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, exactly. And
so he can fall off of something.
Shane needs someone big to jump on, and Big Show went to AEW, so let's give him Braun.
Okay.
Real quick, even though Travis only told me the one thing, not good enough for Hulu Monday Night Raw edition, because if I can do it, I'm gonna fucking do it.
I mentioned something else too. I just don't remember what it was.
If you were, I wasn't. Oh, Sheamus wasn't good enough for Hulu.
Yeah,
I'm assuming Ali and Riddle weren't either.
No.
Yeah. So basically, Sheamus went in the back to talk to Ali and be like, "Hey, listen, like, we both think Riddle's a piece of shit
because he is.
You've got a match tonight. Like, we can come together, figure out a plan, fuck this guy up." Riddle comes through with a scooter and interrupts. They're fucking Sheamus trying to convince Ali to like kind of join him in his assault against Riddle, which I'm all for. Chicago Ali and my boy Sheamus fucking up Matt Riddle. All for that all day. Ali then goes out and loses to Riddle. Also, again with fucking Voldemort. I gotta remember that Voldemort. The New Day and him are backstage talking. He says something about it being over 9,000, quoting DBZ, which almost made me sick to my stomach. And then they were making weed jokes about how high they're going to get at WrestleMania.
Wait. They quoted DBZ. What'd they say?
Voldemort said something about somebody's power level being over 9,000 or something being over 9,000.
Oh, he did it?
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I said it almost made me sick.
You know, I just keep not being able to see the New Day's gear, and it bothers me. Like I saw it at one point. I saw it on one Raw, but then they keep being not good enough for Hulu when I watch, so I just never got to see their gear again.
This will actually be interesting. So Woods defeats AJ. Are you guys spitting Raw?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I just didn't care the whole show. I just don't care.
The crazy question I have to ask you is, between the 3 shows we covered, what was your favorite show this week?
SmackDown. Even though I spit SmackDown, I'd still rather watch SmackDown. Travis.
The Flash.
Travis, you know better.
Invincible was pretty good too.
Mara's tried to do this.
Yo, have y'all watched Invincible?
You have not let Mara do this. I'm not going to let you do this. Raw, SmackDown, AEW. What was your favorite show this week?
Well, for real, have y'all watched Invincible?
No, I have
Nah,
not.
I haven't.
Yo, you need to watch Invincible. It's so good.
I did, however, start watching the Mighty Ducks show on Disney Plus and got caught up on Winter Soldier.
Immediately regret that, don't you?
No, not at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, I've only watched
one.
No, it's a live action.
It's a live action thing.
Mighty Ducks series.
Oh, I thought you meant like
Gordon Bombay's in it.
90s.
He's the only one I've seen though. Where's the rest of them?
I don't know. I've only watched 1 episode. There's 3 available.
Exactly.
So.
I've watched 2 of them. Where's
also,
Charlie Conway?
I'm a fan of Letterkenny.
Adam Bakes.
I'm a fan of Letterkenny, and the guy that's actually coaching the Ducks is one of the characters from Letterkenny, so that was kind of fun because he's a hockey guy over there. He's a hockey guy here. Ferda. Anyway.
Where's Jesse Hall?
Maybe they'll have a debut. Maybe they'll have a cameo.
Guy Germain? Fulton Reed.
Fulton needs to show up.
Like,
though Fulton looks nothing like Fulton anymore. That might be a little disappointing. Like, I want to just remember Fulton the way I remember Fulton, not Fulton from fucking Daredevil. Like, I don't need that coming back. I don't need that guy showing up as a Bash brother. That's not going to work for me.
Man.
Give me Dean. Keep Fulton off my TV.
But Dean wasn't from Minnesota though, so like
it's okay.
He was from the Chi. So.
Yeah, exactly. He can pop in. Travis, show, Raw,
Damn.
SmackDown, AEW. Nice try.
I tried. I really did. I really did. Like I even succeeded in distracting him for a little while.
You did. You did. I saw it all manifest. I'm like, will he get away with this?
Like a hawk.
It's one of those things. Like I know him, so I know I can do it. But like, how long can it last? You know,
right?
And you're still trying, and it's not going to last. So please, Raw, SmackDown. Do me a favor. I'm going to pick AEW, so just pick SmackDown. So SmackDown.
I mean, I was gonna say SmackDown anyway.
Yeah, I know you
it's
were.
just
it
was the least bad of the 3. So
going back to it, I kind of want to gargle on this side of like SmackDown instead of spitting it, because the more I think of it, like I enjoyed it the most.
At this point, that doesn't matter because it still wins best show of the week, even though I spit it, you spit it, Travis gargled it undecidedly.
I'm gonna gargle it now.
Okay, so you guys are both gonna gargle SmackDown. You guys can snowball, spit it back and forth into each other's mouths. It's the best show of the week. I'm picking AEW because AEW was the only show that didn't have wrestlers from the wrong show on it.
Good luck. yeah, good for them.
Technically, they had Gallows and Anderson from Impact, which are wrestlers from another show.
But there's not a brand split on AEW. There's no established.
No,
brand
there is.
split.
They're completely different companies.
There's not an established brand split.
Yeah,
they have
2 established different companies.
They have an open door policy.
You
to
see,
work
you
with
see
other
how
companies. That's different.
his whole criteria is unraveling on the show.
No, it's not.
It totally.
WWE came out and said these 2 brands are separate. They only meet for Survivor Series. AEW said doors open. We'll do business with anybody.
And WWE said we have a brand-to-brand invitational. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not a thing.
It does. That's 100% what it means because this is my show, goddammit. All right, so SmackDown is the best show of the week as per the Smackin' Raw podcast. Now, like I said, Patreon subject.
Oh, damn, we got to talk some more. Okay.
Going into WrestleMania, Mr. Michael LaShawn Willis, good friend of the show, good friend of mine, would like us to discuss why The Undertaker is the
Speaking
standard
of Patreon, have they paid me yet?
at WrestleMania. I don't know because I don't get a check. So,
well, no, because this thing costs money and it's still costing money even with the Patreon. Once we're in the black, then we can talk about you getting paid.
and Vince, you don't get paid till I get paid. So,
I'm never getting paid.
Low
I say
tier.
Vince never gets paid. What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
I mean, technically, he did design our shirts, so like,
I did get a free shirt, so there's that.
That was your pay.
That was my pay. I kind of knew that was my pay, but at least I got some form of payment. You know, I appreciated that. Which I kind of wanted to bring the shirt on to the show because I saw the little like Twitter interaction this week. Are we able to like actually sell this now, or what's
it's
going
not
on?
the shirts that we had an issue with. It was the tote bag. I don't know if there's any other.
So yeah, specifically, it's specific items that are not
Yeah.
being able to be used, right?
So
yeah.
basically
I
what
reached
you-
out to Teespring and I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? They still haven't gotten back to me.
So JJ, if you're listening, we're still waiting to hear back from Teespring. We're sorry that's on their end. It's not on ours. Might have to figure something else out if Teespring
Might
keeps
need
fucking
to-
up. But
Might need to switch over to What a Maneuver with Young Kings Wrestling.
No, fuck TC.
No. Young Kings, not TC. Like I'm just
okay,
specifically
so
talking about Reach.
again,
No, fuck
diverting the conversation. Tote bag, if you go to add it to cart, it never adds to cart. You can't check out. It'll
Yeah.
let you click it, but it never puts it in the cart.
Like I've been telling Matt this for a while. This just takes a lot of time. I'm working on moving our merchandise off of Teespring anyway. So once that's the thing, we have it established as our own store on our website, then this won't be a problem.
There you go.
Bet.
I'm working on that too. So
I need hoodies.
All right, so
lots of moving parts here, people.
The Undertaker, the standard
He's not.
for WrestleMania. He absolutely is. And here's why. The streak, obviously the greatest thing in WrestleMania history. Undefeated 21 until he lost at the WrestleMania that we don't talk about, which is unfair because it was
30 is the
WrestleMania
best WrestleMania
Triple
of
X.
all time.
Fuck you again, Vince. See, now you're just not. No.
What did he do? I missed it.
He just said that WrestleMania 30 was the best WrestleMania of all time.
Oh.
We don't do that here. So anyway, the streak, which really even wasn't meant to be a thing, just kind of became a thing, led to the fact that wrestling the fucking Undertaker at WrestleMania was on
an
the
honor.
same level as fucking winning the Royal Rumble and main eventing, except for CM Punk, but neither here nor there. People built their year around wanting to wrestle the Undertaker at WrestleMania and be part of the streak and have that story. It was as important as the WWE Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship, or the Universal Championship now. And for one man in the history of WrestleMania to be that important and that big of a deal, let alone he is now arguably in the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. There's debate. You've got
No, there is no debate. Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker 1 is the greatest WrestleMania match of all time.
I will agree with you. There is some debate out there, but I agree with you.
They're wrong.
I also agree with that. Greatest WrestleMania match of all time. Again, as Vince didn't get to hear because he got put in the waiting room for his slander.
See, I might just be working you and using this as an excuse for me to get kicked out so I can check my phone real quick and then get brought back into it with no inclinations of it. So
Or just check your phone.
So anyway, now I can watch him. So The Undertaker became as important as a championship match at WrestleMania. One man holding that position to where people built their whole years around facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Get off your phone, Vince. We're doing a fucking podcast.
Yes.
Be professional.
Be a
Jesus
goddamn
Christ.
professional, Vince.
I
Shit.
seen Travis on his phone too. I thought it was okay.
I can do that. I'm Travis. You
He's
are not
produ-
Travis.
He's producing the show. I can't say shit to him. If I do, he's just not going to produce the show and it won't come out. Then I just wasted an hour. So like that's not happening. You also think about the matches that he's had. Well, yeah, there are some duds in there like fucking Albert and Big Show.
Albert Big Show, his match against Giant Gonzalez.
Whoa. We will not slander the match against Giant Gonzalez. Because if
I
that
will.
match did not happen, we would not be discussing the winner of the NXT Women's title in the way that we do now.
Oh man. And the thing is, let's talk about those matches too. There were some in the beginning that weren't like great matches.
No, they weren't.
But you got to think of what it was for the Undertaker persona to have those matches. You know, Like defeating the Giant Gonzalez was big for the Undertaker character, you know. So it wasn't a great match. Of course, he wasn't putting on blockbuster matches
He
with them.
didn't defeat him. He got it like
A win
knocked
is
out
a
with
win.
chloroform.
Say it week after week. A win is a win.
W's a W.
I don't know. I'm not into those kind of W's.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Did it count towards a streak?
Yeah.
Okay, then it was a win.
W.
There's no debating that. It was one of the 21. It was a win.
A win is a win is a win.
Again,
Whether
you had
like it
guys
or not.
You had guys who built their careers around this. I mean, Shawn Michaels went out wrestling The Undertaker. We had 4 years of Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, and Triple H. Also, Triple H 3 times against The Undertaker. WrestleMania 17, and then it was 27 and 28. So they have a trifecta of matches at WrestleMania. WrestleMania 17 being my favorite personal WrestleMania.
Honestly, like I don't want to talk about that first Triple H match because it fucking bugs the fuck out of me. How like they were fighting on the outside and it was a regular match. The ref was just knocked out for like 20 minutes or so, and they were able to do all this bullshit and then get back into the ring.
Hold on,
Vince.
That
sometimes you need a nap. All
okay,
right?
listen. That is the only time that a ref bump was actually believable, because if any one of those refs got hit by an actual wrestler, he would actually be out for 20 minutes. These refs getting hit and rolling to the outside of the ring and sitting there for 5 minutes and then getting up, not realistic. Being out for 20 minutes because you got clocked.
I wasn't questioning the realism. I was saying I didn't like it.
Well, again,
we don't like you, so
opinions. God damn it, Vince. And also, don't check your phone just because you're muted, because I love that Triple H Undertaker match. I absolutely did.
See, their last one is my favorite. The end of an era match is
end
my
of an
favorite
era
one.
was the best.
And my thing is, it should have been the end, but they kept going, and that's how you end up with Taker losing to Brock. But you know, that's just
and Roman Reigns, which we're also not going to talk about. But again, you had Ric Flair wanted to wrestle the Undertaker, and that's where the streak first got acknowledged, was against Ric Flair. You had guys like Edge, Batista, CM Punk, who all had the honor.
Yeah, and it was so great too in those other ones, like the ones you mentioned, like, you know, Edge and Batista and a couple of Shawn Michaels, when you're wondering would it happen, because it's just like, you know, it was still one of those things. You knew it was a streak, but you knew it mattered, but you didn't feel like they thought it was this sacred. So like, will the streak end now? I can't tell you how many.
I think I only felt that with the 2 Shawn Michaels matches and the end of an era match, and maybe even the CM Punk one, just because he was teasing that he'll like get Undertaker disqualified or counted out and break the streak that way.
I don't know. I would have said I definitely felt it during Batista and Randy Orton with the Legend Killer.
I didn't feel it as much with Edge. I felt it more with Batista though. And I didn't feel it as much during the match with Batista, but only time I felt it as much during the match was the first Shawn Michaels match. So it was, you know, every other time I saw it, I just knew he was going to win. It just felt like that to me. But that one, it was like every time Shawn got that long 2 count, I'm like, oh shit. Like, and I remember sitting and watching that match with a bunch of friends and just all of us getting hype as fuck.
I remember having to go to the bathroom midway of the match, and I held it all the way until the end. And every single time I'm like, God damn, can this match end? I will never be able to like relieve my bladder because of this fucking classic. So I have mixed feelings about that first match.
Vince is jumping up, popping, and praying to God he doesn't piss himself every time someone kicks out.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If one man can create that kind of presence at what is the Super Bowl
match at
of professional wrestling,
body slam,
that kind of presence,
but still
that kind of persona where you are on the level of a world championship match, where guys who have been world champion are trying to wrestle you to get that WrestleMania moment, that rub, that story going into WrestleMania. It is that important to them. Then that is the standard, hands down. You know, titles change, titles go away. For when it existed, you know, titles are replaced, new designs, new lineages. There's only ever going to be one Undertaker. There's only ever going to be one streak. There's only going to be one era where the Undertaker was that guy that people wanted to wrestle. It is why not only is he my GOAT, but as we saw posted in our Facebook group earlier today, the majority of the United States considers the Undertaker the greatest wrestler of all time, and I can't argue with that.
He's probably one of the greatest characters of all time. I don't think he's the greatest wrestler, but personal preferences.
So when we say greatest wrestler of all time, we're encompassing.
I love that
everything.
I naturally went to mute him and realized I couldn't do it, but then you did it. And it's just like,
We're not talking strictly in-ring work. He is not the greatest in-ring worker of all time, but overall, everything he brings, the diversity that he has in his matches and the things he can do, the character work, the entrance, the stories told, the fact that he has made more stars than arguably anyone outside of Vince McMahon in the WWE. And he has built most of Vince McMahon's stars and got these guys over. He is the GOAT. He is the standard. So hopefully, Mike, that was what you were looking for and we were able to deliver. And again, if you guys want us to babble on about some shit, go over to our Patreon, subscribe to the $20 tier, and hit up Travis or me in our DMs and let us know what subject you want us to talk about. And we will put it on a show and we will talk about it to the best of our ability. You can make me say some shit I might not want to say because you paid me to say it, and I am a slut for that. So go ahead, throw us $20, make me talk about some dumb shit. I'm all for it.
appreciate the support though, for real.
Absolutely. You got anything else, Vince? Any other Undertaker slander? Because if you say one more fucking thing, I'm gonna find a new co-host. I swear to God.
Obviously, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just
Complete
coming out.
disrespect, like unnecessary disrespect. That's the problem. Like it's just
It'd be like me coming out
call
here and
for it.
just like, well, you know, Eddie Guerrero wasn't that great. Yeah, he had some good matches, but like that's what you're doing to me, Vince.
like it took forever for Eddie Guerrero to really matter. You know?
Yeah, exactly. See, that's what you're doing right now. Don't do
You don't
it.
like that shit, do you?
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean it.
You're
I'm
not though.
sorry.
You're not sorry. That's the problem.
This man is everywhere on my desk. Everywhere. He's behind me. He's here. He's there. Everywhere. Greatest of all time.
There's a fly in here and it's driving me insane.
Well, while that fly is driving you insane, why don't you plug your socials, Travis? Or you want me to do it
Instagram
for
and
you?
Twitter at Sir_Cussalot. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT.
Vince?
As I mentioned at the top of the show, you can slide into my DMs on Twitter at SESVince and on Instagram at SESVince.
Lies.
You can.
Lies.
You can slide. Doesn't mean you'll be successful.
No, I'm talking about the lies that are in your name.
You could also follow the show's Instagram page at Smackin' the Raw Pod, where we post like every time we drop a brand new episode and whenever Matt creates some awesome content, and then we turn it into him, even put on the show.
Is the awesome content that I
in our episodes, by the way? I need some stuff from y'all. Anyway, go ahead. We'll talk about this afterwards.
okay? Is the awesome stuff that I put in Twitter today going to be on Instagram?
I have to, man. I kind of have to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a story thread because I feel like that'd be the easiest way to do it. It's just like take your tweet and then go every single like picture and then do like a story thing.
Okay. So if people are not familiar with what happened on Twitter today, inspired by Kyle from Apron Bump Podcast, The Hardest Part of the Ring, I took out of context photos of WWE and created a thread. If these photos were Pornhub thumbnails and gave them porn titles,
That's great.
what you would see as you go through Pornhub, the description to go with the picture. That is on my Twitter right now. So please go check that out because I had a lot of free time on my hands today and put a lot of work into that. And I thought it was fucking hilarious. So
yeah, no, I thought it was. I saw every single one of them, and every single last one of them was fucking hilarious.
my last question for you, because I almost forgot. Do you want to do your 6-star picks, Vince?
Damn, I didn't think we were gonna do it this week because we had so much. We had.
We can do it next week. We can do it post WrestleMania.
We'll do it post WrestleMania because I don't have my notes with me.
Is it 6-star picks though? Because that's what was voted on. Is that where we're going?
You know
with?
what, dude, Matt, like this is my thing. You want to name it? You know what? Let's just name him. Let's just name it Vince's
It's
6-star picks.
your segment. I just wanted the fans to have an opportunity to let us know what they like.
No. Clearly, the masses have voted. The masses have voted.
Do not let Matt bully you into doing what he wants you to do. Okay. All right.
Yeah, don't be like Kyle. Don't allow internet bullies to win.
Like seriously, like do not let Matt do you like that. If
'Cause
you want to
honestly-
call it something else, you call it what you want to call
We'll
it.
see. We'll see. Now you're gonna disagree with me because my original thing was SCS6. I even had a logo made up for it and everything. And then Matt's like, "Oh, I don't want it. Like, I don't think we should call it that. Like, because you're not SCS and Vince."
Damn, you really need me to. You want me to agree with your bully now?
Like he gave you permission.
I'm
you
normally
should just-
against bullying. I don't like bullies.
He gave you permission. You should have just shut the fuck up and let it be, and then just called it SCS6 and been like, "Oh, Travis gave me permission," but no, you had to give him the story.
And I
Technically, I don't need his permission because he doesn't care.
And I probably wouldn't have noticed for weeks. Like,
I don't think you would have noticed in general.
All right, let's wrap this up. You guys can find again Travis at Sir Cusselot, Twitter and Instagram. That is at SIR_CUSSAT. You guys can find, well, just in case we did all that babbling and they forgot, Vince at SES Vince on Twitter and Instagram. Also go check out on Instagram at Smackin' It Raw Pod. You guys can find me on Twitter only at Matt Ritter. There's at MATTRIDDER. Also at Smackin' It Raw Pod on Twitter. We want to get those numbers up. They're not going up, so fucking listen to me and go do it. Please go subscribe to the YouTube. You guys can find the links and the link trees at Matt Ritter on Twitter to find that, as well as links to go to our Pornhub where you can subscribe and go watch us on Pornhub because we are the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub. Travis has a shirt up that I'm going to read for him, so he puts it down because he looks ridiculous. There's a 99% chance I don't care. And Vince is repping the Smackin' It Raw merch, so if you are watching this, also, if you're watching this, make sure you are looking in my background as we talk for the Waldo penis. Waldo's dick is up on my wall, and it is moving around every episode. It was in a different spot for episode 189 than it is now. So go check out both episodes and see if you can find the Waldo penis. Facebook.com/Creation World, Facebook.com/group/Smackin' It Raw, Facebook.com/group/Super Flash Hero of Tomorrow. Travis, are there any new shows coming up that you want to plug or talk about?
Nothing new right now. We talked about it earlier. Dungeons After Dark coming soon. We're working out some kinks, but we're working on it. Matt can attest. We actually did some shit, Creation Conversation probably next week.
There you go. So look forward to that stuff. And you guys, again, can find that all at either creationworld.com or facebook.com/creationworld or the Twitter and Instagrams at The Creation World. That is at TheCreatia World. We'll spell world.
Get a goddamn dictionary.
There you go. For Sir Cusselot, Travis Pointer, and Daddy Delgado, I am the Warden, Matt Ritter. We are Smackin' It Raw, and we are still the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub.
Later, y'all.
Peace.